GYOKERES Nation, we rise. Full-time results at the Emirates, Arsenal 3, Sunderland 0. And it felt like yesterday that we had one hand on that Premier League trophy. Now, yes, we are still in February. I get that. However, with Man City being super irrelevant right now and all Arsenal can do is focus on ourselves, we only need 9 more wins to be crowned champions. So, listen, the way Man City are moving, the fact Villa dropped points yesterday, that was a huge win. We did our job, and now we can just sit back and relax and see what Liverpool have for us today. Because if they win, I can confidently come out with chest and say, we've got this title wrapped up. Because that is a 4-game swing. No one else is catching us, especially with the way the league's been moving. And we've been saying this for ages, right? The only way Arsenal won't win this league title is because of ourselves. Not because Man City have gone on like a 20-22 winning run. It's because of our doing and the fact we've dropped the ball again. But you know what I loved about yesterday's performance? Key individuals stepping up. Victor GYOKERES. Whoever doubted him, especially Arsenal fans, I'm pointing the finger at, come outside. Man, we're comparing him to the likes of Sonogo and Shamak. Listen, if he doesn't score 20 goals this season in the Premier League, but we still win it, I mean, who gives a hoot? Because he is the only striker prior Henry that has led us to a Premier League title. So no one gives a shit how many goals he scores as long as he contributes to us winning the league. And whenever he started, we've only lost one game. When the game was cagey, Sunderland had some decent spells in that second half, it has to be said, before we made it 2-0. But guess what? There's our striker, stepping up. The finish was excellent. Havertz, another assist. Was brilliant, by the way. I mean, no one's taken into account that I'm trying to think now. The Sunderland opportunity in the first half. Bro, if that goes in, different game, right? But he's there to clear it off the line. Nearly scored an absolute worldie as well. Wrapped it with his left foot. Just went wide. And then bagged an assist before he came off. I'm telling you, both GYOKERES and Havertz have something in common, you know, and I'm liking it, you know. Havertz is slowly starting to eat my words. I ain't gonna lie to you. But, you know, I have to respect it still. Right? I'll give praise where it's due, and then I'll criticise when, as well, it's due. Because, again, Havertz, in the last year, I've been cussing him hard, bro. But since he's come back from injury, he's been sensational. It has to be said. But listen, right, the lineup, and I want to, you know, get onto the starting lineup rather than, you know, just Victor GYOKERES and Kai Havertz. The rest of the lineup, I mean, Gabriel Jesus. I mean, I like him still, but come on. How many times do you want to be offside, brother? How many times? The opportunity where Havertz played him in, he would have won a penalty anyway. But he's offside, and you can't be offside there when you're looking directly across the line. You just can't. So all he has to do is just drop a few yards back, and then it's so frustrating. And this is why GYOKERES should be the starting striker and Havertz in behind. Because this is what I'm saying, right? Fans tell me that, oh, well, the reason why Saka and Odegaard can't find GYOKERES is because GYOKERES' positioning in the box isn't good enough, which I tend to agree. So how could Havertz find him then? How can Trossard find him? Martinelli, towards the end, who, by the way, was sensational when he came on. I've not seen Martinelli move like that since probably Crystal Palace in the Carabao Cup. Like 2 months ago. The assist as well. Bro, like, this guy is a transitional monster. And I think he should have started. But then again, I thought Trossard was absolutely outstanding. One of the best players on the pitch, if you ask me. Such a threat all game. And he's playing with so much confidence, so much telepathy as well. And I felt like with Calafiori, who I thought was rusty at times, to be honest with you, yesterday, it kind of helps him because, you know, lately he's been off form. And I just think it's because Calafiori's not there. And it allows him to go inside. And Calafiori brings that width at left back. So I thought Trossard was sensational. Hopefully the injury isn't anything serious. You got Madueke on the opposite side, who I don't think had a great game, to be honest with you. I would be considering playing Martinelli on the right-hand side and Trossard out on the left. I've not really been impressed with Madueke lately. Listen, we know what he brings. The fact he can go past players, fantastic. But it's just this. It's the same old with Madueke. It's just rinse, flip, and repeat. So it's frustrating. I don't think he had the best game. Wasn't awful, but again, not his best game. Martin Zubimendi, my God. This guy is so efficient in the final third, it's unbelievable. And that's not why we bought him in for, by the way. I was expecting him to be that anchor man in midfield. The solid base in our midfield. But I would say he's more of a number 8. And I've been saying that for ages, bro. And, you know what? He deserves credit, you know, because he has responded from that Man United game where he made a mistake for one of their goals. And he's been absolutely unbelievable. And I know Declan Rice will get the applaudits, but Zubimendi deserves huge credit. He is signing of the summer for me. I know fans are going to say bloody Mbermo, but I think Zubimendi is a strong contender because he's made Declan Rice a player he is today. And listen, speaking of Declan Rice, I'm running out of superlatives. Just use my video from last week. In fact, use my video from 2 months ago. Right, because, you know, there was that patch where it was a little bit ugly. But every game, basically, like, you know what you're getting from Declan Rice. Just a workhorse in there. And I've just, again, run out of superlatives. He's probably been one of our players of the season alongside Jurrien Timber. Timber, I thought, was magnificent yesterday, by the way. Again, standard. The 2 centre-backs, Saliba, I thought, had some shaky moments at times. I thought, you know, he started off the game quite well, if I'm honest. And then he got the yellow card, and you can tell he was a little bit sceptical of, you know, getting himself sent off. So it kind of did affect his game a little bit. I thought Gabriel was brilliant once again. As I said, Calafiori was a little bit rusty. But yeah, in fact, I forgot. Did I mention Zubimendi's goal, by the way? I don't think I did. Bro, at first I thought it took a deflection. But it turns out, man just slapped it at the keeper's near post. Ridiculous finish, by the way. And the fact, we finally slapped one from outside the box. My God. I mean, that was actually nice to see as well. That we were taking shots from outside the box because everyone is basically expecting us to overpass it. So shooting from outside the box, yeah. That should be the secret code for Arsenal from now on, in my opinion. Because Declan Rice had one, which went close, and then Kai Havertz as well. And then Zubimendi tries it, it goes in. So, I mean, again, I want to, you know, wrap up the match review. Sorry, I can't get my words out today. I want to finish off the match reaction with praising the manager because I thought his in-game management was absolutely superb yesterday. I thought, you know, the changes were spot on, came early at the right time when, you know, the game was a little bit cagey, as I mentioned earlier. brought on the likes of GYOKERES, brought on Martinelli when Sunderland was starting to, give us a few problems. And, we had to be solid, and we needed that license to go over the top. Because GYOKERES, as we've seen lately, his hold-up play's been a lot better. So he could obviously feed off Martinelli, who, as I said, is a transitional monster, isn't he? And with his pacing behind, he can cause a lot of problems. So it may encourage Sunderland to drop back a few yards. And that's what it did. And I think the manager deserves huge credit for that. I thought Eze was superb when he came on. Martinelli, as I mentioned, was excellent. GYOKERES, 2 goals. Like, everyone, I thought, really impressed me yesterday. And maybe apart from Jesus and, Calafiore, Saliba to an extent. I thought Rye was a little bit shaky with his distribution at times. Well, no, not his distribution. I thought his distribution was all right. But, claiming for crosses, which is usually his strong point, he fumbled a couple. And he was lucky to get away with the first one, that's for sure. But we'll see what Man City do later on today. And listen, if Liverpool can get something, I think that is title wraps. And I think they will, actually. But we'll find out, obviously. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Of course, Arsenal All Out will be tomorrow. So keep your eyes peeled for that every Monday at 8:30. Hopefully, I won't have any more bloody technical difficulties with Talk Studio like I did last week. If you know, you know. So, yeah, make sure, again, you are subscribing, you're liking, you're sharing, and I'll catch you in the next one.